is there is no good result. One, still majority of the centers are run by the immigrants, whether the old immigrants like your parents or the new immigrants like you guys, right? Only we have few percentage, the second generation or third generation running the centers. Okay, that's obvious one. You can see that they are melting in the society, right? And for the bigger percentage. Second, there is no sense of belonging of the society and so on and so forth. Third, the ratio of divorce in our younger generation is as equal as any American society or any other societies. If you see among the Muslims, it's not that like, our children, they're not having problems in their families, or they're not divorces and so on and so forth. You see the same ratios. Whatever you have in the American system, you have the same thing in our system. So then, where we are doing good? Do you think that we are doing something good? No, we are not doing. So that's why it's very important to see the whole picture, right? So if you don't see, then we cannot have a good result. Please say the salawats. Before I go to the next slide, all of us, we are on the same page. You see the same problems, or you don't see the... So, Brother Zaki, you think that these are the right points, or you see that, especially Zaki, you are born and raised here in America, you see the same problem or not?
I'm not born here, but...
oh, I thought, okay.
Yeah, I do see the same. I think you bring up some good points. And a lot of those are related, right? So if I eat right, then I'll have better physical health, things like that. So I think you brought up some good points.
So what about the sisters, like Sister Shafia? So, Sister Huda, I want to hear from you that, just take yourself 20 years back and today, what do you see the difference?
Going back to the topic of culture, I feel like what's happened is we've taken those concepts from the culture that contradict with Islam, and we've started building families that are centered around those cultural values that are going against Islamic values. Yet we've let go of the positive aspects of the culture that teach us akhlaq, that teach us, adab, that teach us how to essentially be a good Muslim, that are ingrained in the culture. So that's one thing I see. So either what I see is we've taken on to culture and we're raising our children culturally without Islamic values, or we're raising our children Islamically, but we've completely let go of culture. And I feel that that's a very important piece to understand, because the Persian culture, the Arabic culture, or the Urdu culture is based on strong Islamic values. That's different, that it's changed over time in society. But I think holding on to those roots and instilling them in our younger generation so we don't lose the positive aspects of culture is also really important, because that reinforces the Islamic principles. Secondly, I feel that the lack of education in our centers is appalling. We notice the problem. We have these higher level discussions, these deeper discussions on the problems, but we're not focusing on the solutions. And one of the greatest platforms I feel where we can spread the knowledge, the solutions on how to strengthen our families is the mimbar. And it's not happening from the mimbar.
So we're talking about the speakers, the speeches, the topics.
Year after year, we come in Muharram and Safar, we come in Ramadan, yet we rarely have lectures on the family structure, on family values, on what it means to be a good wife, on what it means to be a good husband.
This is only in English language, or you think that it's across Farsi, Arabic, Urdu, English?
Everywhere. I think this is a complaint that our generation has had since we were maybe 15, 16, and I'm 32 now. And we long
So, Sister Hadia, you also born and raised here, and you're, alhamdulillah, long enough attached to Fatima Sabah and some other centers. Uh, are you happy with the performance of these centers in terms of building this society, building the community, building the family, Islamic family structure?
Well, for me, back 15 years ago, when I was about 15, 16 years old, going to school here in a public school, for me, it was very helpful. I attended Lasmia programs, the youth programs, all that. It was helpful for me.
So it helps.
For me, it was helpful.
What about today? What you see today? You see that you are getting the guidance from the centers in terms of the speeches, services, whatever we are offering.
Going back to what Sister Huda was saying, I don't see that because now I'm in a different situation. Now I'm a mother of two, and what I need from the masjid is, like she was saying, how to raise a family and advice on these topics.
So you're not getting that.
And I'm not getting that.
Okay. So brothers, yes, Mahdi.
Well, the speeches are great. Just that a lot of these mothers have kids. They can't even sit down and listen to the speech. On top of that, they don't want to go to masjid because that's what happens. They get frustrated. I have a family, I have a problem. My wife doesn't want to go to masjid because of the kids. So for her to even sit through the majalis, just Muharram, Sheikh was talking about anger. Every time I'll show it's about family building. There's ties. So you have the time to sit down and listen to the majlis, listen to the speech. And yeah, it's not fair because the father can't watch the kid. A lot of these fathers do. I don't do that. Right? So my wife has to do that. So she.
Why your wife has to do that? Yeah. Because you're falahati, that's why?
So that's my fault too, right? But the thing is, so if I'm watching a kid, I'm not listening to the speech. So the speeches are down the line. Again, some of that one is valid. But Haram has its own light of honor. So people
No, Mahdi Jan, you see, this is one of the typical, situation in our families. When we talk about certain things, maybe I don't agree with her or with him, that's not a problem. We have to see in what context we are talking. Her point is masjids or Islamic center is the only platform for us to learn, right? So if you take out 5, 6, 7, 10 masjid or Islamic centers from Bay Area, you as a mu'min or Muslim or a person who wants to continue, where are you going to get the knowledge, the guidance, right? So whether it's not only Sabah, all these centers in general, whether we're doing our job or not, whether from the member, speeches, topics, services, workshops, seminars, whatever we're doing, we are contributing towards building the Islamic family or not. I agree with her and also Sister Huda that we are not doing, right? Because if we don't acknowledge, there's nothing to fix. If we are in denial situation, a position that no, we are doing great, incredible, then there is nothing to fix. No, we have to acknowledge. I feel that when I say not only me as Abidi, but in general, as center, or the leadership, or everything, we are not contributing towards building a good Islamic family system. Right? Alhamdulillah, please say the salawats. So Hassan, you agree with that? So Brother Hassan, thank you for that. What you would do if you are, as a board member or a person who is running the center, what you would do which is different than what we are doing right now?
So first off is acknowledging that you assess that there is an issue, and I think most of
understanding that we live in a multifaceted community. It's advanced than what it was 635 AD or 688 AD. We've obviously evolved a lot, right? So understanding that. So somebody comes out, the member, just to recap on what the ladies mentioned, and says, you know, the rights of a woman is X, Y, and Z. The rights of a man were X, Y, and Z, which is fine. I understand. We have definitely evolved a lot. We live in a society which is completely different. We don't have a rule book on what things are now. We adapt all of those. I think the biggest gap is when somebody sits there and says that this is how it should be versus where it is now. How my parents were is very different than how.
So I know that's a philosophical discussion. I want to get a practical points that what you would do or what you will do if you are in the leadership of a center.
Correct. So it's something that what you're doing today is something that exactly what is needed from what I can see. Bringing in speakers who can actually address the society changes and the problems that we face with social needs, children, physical health, everything that you've mentioned there.
Okay.
An awareness aspect.
So, yes, sister.
I think a lot of us are saying that basically you need to ask these speakers and request these speakers to speak on these topics, speak on these topics that we need.
So, Sister Nazira, she's here. Yeah, please can you make it notes because these are the things very good so we can have some in the notes straight. Yes.
So one of the things I've, come to ask speakers that come to town, because a lot of their speeches are very intellectual, mashallah, they go to another level, but some of us are still on that level where we just need,
So one of the best way is to communicate with the speakers and about the topics, about the needs of the society, and talk to them not when they're here. Way before they come here, they can prepare and they can come up with a good structure for that, right?
one of the questions I keep asking is that we have these role models of as one of the best parents, that they are.
Great.
Where are the lessons from it? How they
Thank you. Thank you, Jazakallah. It's good.
Oftentimes the answer I get is I will, look it up and I'll tell you, or I'll reference a book, or which as a mother of two, I just can't. And
Thank you. That's good, mashallah. Yes, sister.
I think that there's a gap that needs to be built. You have parents who drop their kids off at Sunday school, or they put them in the kids program, and then the parents will have their own workshops and they'll listen to the speeches, but there's nothing in the middle that blends the two. I think what's important is to have programs where parents are with their kids and learning together. It doesn't have to be a speech because obviously kids don't have the attention span for that. But some sort of activity, and I think that Mommy and Me is a good start, but then there needs to be something more.
So Mommy is Me is only for a smaller age. And the same thing, we need to have something with the parents and children in all the ages. If we can expand that, that's also one of the tools. Good, mashallah. Yes, sister.
We're from a vast variety of cultures. That same speaker that's speaking in the evening is free all day. It'd be nice if we could have a workshop and tailor it to the ages of the children that we're dealing with. Because what a 7-month-old needs, what a 7-year-old needs, what a 17-year-old needs is going to vary. And it'd be nice if they could do more like a workshop, not necessarily a lecture, but a discussion with parents and say a positive parenting kind of thing or whatever from an Islamic perspective.
Thank you, sister. Let me give you a little bit of different aspect to it. I appreciate that. That is a typical perception of the people that a speaker, a Maulana, sits and sleeps and have a big fun, mashallah, and only 1 hour speech and khalas. I think that's a wrong perception. And the main thing is we have to communicate with them and we need to have a good usage of their time and talent and their wisdom here. If we as for example, let's say if Sister Fizza, Sister Nazira, they come and they say, you know what, we have speaker this week and we want to have, for example, this workshop. Brother Asad Zaki is, okay, no problem, we can communicate with the board. If you initiate that, I'm sure that will happen, right? But to expect that Abidi will do everything or board of director will do everything is, I think, is a little bit unreasonable expectation. But alhamdulillah, I take your point. It's very good that if we can have this better communication, I appreciate that. So this form is not by me or BOD or all of that, initiated by mommies and me, right? So then when they ask us, we will be there to help and serve. Same thing we need to do for the speakers, whether they come to other centers or here, and we can utilize their time and their wisdom, inshallah. Yes.
I just want to add on to that. Like, all of us here probably feel this way, and there's probably a lot of other people in the community. If we could clone you, we would do it. If there was a clone machine and we could clone you, and we could have 2 Aghabis, we would do it.
MashaAllah. So, sister,
Is we need time. And every successful community has specialists. And I also feel it's unfair to put the entire burden on the ulama to be the psychotherapist, to be the psychologist, to be the marriage counselor, to be the speaker, to be the guidance, the beam of light for our children. I think we need a specialist in the community, someone who is available to our families, who understands our culture, our faith,
thank you.
our religion,
You're going one step ahead. I think even the first step, what Sister Zahra and also Sister Maryam, they mentioned, we are not utilizing the speakers and talent what we have. So you're looking for something extra. That's good. But at least first step, we have lots of speakers. We have lots of talent here. We are not utilizing that. So once we optimize that, maybe we can go to the next level, right? Inshallah. And also I would like to mention one point that sometimes there's lots of misconception about Abidi. One of the brother in one of the cities, he called me and he was, he had a majlis in his home and he wants to, ask me to go there and to recite the majlis. After lengthy discussion, it's okay, no problem, because I can go afternoon or the morning and I can come back same night or something like that. It's okay, no problem. When I arrived there, he came and he took me to a coffee shop and gave me 1 hour lecture that how women, they're this and that, you need to speak about that, and the whole majlis. And he was assuming, thinking that, yes, Abidi will contribute something. After my majlis, that the poor guy, he was so upset and he was not able to achieve what he wants in the favor of the brothers. And he said that, you know what, you're not doing good at all. You're not worth of anything. You need to go and you need to fix, because you need to understand the sisters, because they are the real problems, and so on and so forth. Sister, the point here is, alhamdulillah, if we acknowledgement, the first step, that we have lots of area to work and lots to be done, and we have a great potentials among ourselves. If we acknowledge, we see that, we can have a good result. One of the examples is the Shine Lab, right? It was a talent there for a long time. But alhamdulillah, from the time they started, at least a good number of brothers, sisters, they got the job, they changed the better job, and they are working better. I don't want to say that it's like thousands. No, it's even few people, it's good changes, right? So if we can enhance that for all the areas, it's good. One of the key area which we are lacking is the family, building the family. So I know that lots of you have good points, but I want to take one step back. I'm sorry, I will come to you. We can take one step back. If I can hear from you guys a few sentences about what is Islamic family. If at least I can get some idea, that would help us to move furthermore, right? So any brothers wants to contribute that? What is Islamic family?
Well, I mean, it starts with the husband and wife, and it starts with your worldview, your nucleus being Allah. So everything that you want to do is you want to please Allah, and you're gonna build that within your family because that's what you value. So obviously, there's a lot of education involved here, and then there's also a lot of so your paradigm, like the worldview, the nucleus of your focus is Allah and raising an Islamic family, and in that sense, then everything starts to kind of structure in.
So basically, your point is Islamic family, it means nucleus of husband, wife, and they have one priority, one goal, one mission, one vision, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if they can work around that, it will be good. So that's very general, but it's very good. Yes.
So everyone in the family knows their rights and duties towards others, like according to Islam.
So knowing the rights is Islamic family.
Rights and their duties. So, children knowing that their duty is to be able to respect everyone, right? And parents knowing that their duty is to be able to give the best knowledge, health, spiritual knowledge, etc. to their children.
So basically, if everyone in the family, if they know their rights and also duties and responsibilities, that will contribute to have a good Islamic family. Okay. Any other sisters? Yes. Alaikum salam.
I think a family where the akhlaq is upheld, back in the days where the children are observing the parents and using them as role models and modeling anything that the parents do. So to have a family where akhlaq is constantly emphasized between every relationship between the mother and father, between the mother and children, between the father and children. So just strong akhlaq.
So if a family lives with the moral and akhlaq values, that's a good Islamic family system. Okay, any other? Yes.
I would say that all these characteristics of a healthy family is a definition of Islamic family, no matter that people in the family are following Christianity or Judaism. If the results of what you do at home and the family, with the intellectual health, social health, spiritual health, emotional health, that we call it Islamic family.
So basically, your point here is if you have all of that, whether you live in Jew family or Christian family or Hindus or any other religion or Muslims, doesn't make any difference, right?
The whole point of following a Sharia or fiqh or whatever is to come up with these results. And so I would call this an Islamic family. If family practice.
So what makes Islamic family different than any other societies? Any other, like for example, cultures or any other religion? What makes a differentiate between Muslim, Islamic family and non-Islamic family?
I don't know if just you want to call Islamic family as just the family that follows Islamic rules. Probably we don't mean that, right? The Islamic family, a lot of us are kind of Islamic family because we're following Islamic rules, but probably we don't meet 50% of this criteria, right? Then
Because this is a very important point to understand that, you see, if all of this exists, that's Islamic family, right? If it's not exist or is lacking some of these points, it's not Islamic family. That's a very good point, right? But we have to understand a little bit more or dissect that. If we don't, understand better, maybe we think that there is no differentiate or distinguish between Islamic family and non-Islamic family, right? So one of the point is spiritual, okay? So what is spiritual? Here, as Muhammad said, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So once you have the Allah in your family, that will make a difference between the Islamic family and non-Islamic family. And also to give the importance for all of that, not only one aspect to it, right? So as a whole is Islamic family. If we are lacking, it's not Islamic family. This is a very good point, mashallah. Yes?
So here's a question to you. Those 6 points that you have listed there, Islamic family in general, from, most of us are from outside of this country. We moved here either through parents or ourselves. We took culture, we brought culture, and we felt that that was the Islamic household because we saw how our parents lived. Perhaps they adapted a cultural aspect from their parents. So it moved on the path, hence calling it Islamic, because it was in the umbrella of an Islamic household, because everybody did namaz and read Quran and kept fast. The definition is skewed, is where I'm trying to get at. Our definition of an Islamic household, my parents' definition of an Islamic household, their parents' definition of Islam is all skewed, because it's how we perceive it is. So from the member, somebody says, oh, your Islamic household is you, your wife, your children, right? But then you have your mother, you have your father, you have your sisters, so that they all come as part of an extended Islamic family, which you owe to them. That's not listed in your 6 steps there. So I think it's a very skewed perspective of what an Islamic household or a family is, because they differentiate, because you bring in cultures in it.
So
I think you have to define first what it is.
it's very good. So I think next time what we can do is we can have a good discussion, or I can come up with the presentation about the definition of Islamic family and the different aspect of that. That's a very good point. But if you look at to what Brother Salman also said, it's very important that if all the family members, those who live, mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, children, brothers, sister, siblings, family member, if they know the rights and duties, that will help enhance all of that, right? So that's also one of the points. So that's why these types of discussion is very good, that each one of us can contribute something towards a better result, right? So we can inshallah have a discussion. We can continue this discussion, especially about family structure. Yes.
You just made me realize that another issue that comes with building an Islamic household is, you and your nuclear family, your husband and your kids may have like an idea of what you want an Islamic household, but you have relatives, like grandparents or the kids' aunts and uncles or whatever, that may like counter what you're trying to establish. So maybe that's like another thing that can be like discussed, like what do we do to tackle that issue?
So here is one golden point, brothers and sisters. Please, if you understand, if you take this only one point from this, discussion, I will be happy. Which is, as I said last time also, the nucleus of family is husband and wife. For you now, husband and wife. Your parents, your mother and father. Your grandparent, their husband and wife. So for you, is husband and wife is the nucleus of the family, right? If you are not building that, you cannot invest in your children. Yes, parents is very important. Knowing the rights, knowing the duties and responsibilities, we can help them, all of that. But when it comes to my family, it's not as selfish. That's the teaching of Islam. The nucleus of family of me is me and my wife. If we are not in the same page, I cannot nurture and train and raise my children properly. So my parents are very important for me. I will die for them. It's good, no problem. But that has to come as a duty and responsibilities and respect and so on and so forth. Right? I can learn from them, I can get support, I can have a help of them and so on and so forth. I can help them. All of that is very important, good. But the nucleus of the family is husband and wife. That is the beginning point for nurturing your children. Right? So that's why you don't see here. Why? Because that's the nucleus. That's how to, manage that. How to give them their, rights or their, the respect and so on and so forth. That's a different thing. The family here is husband, wife, and children. Period. If husband and wife, if we are not getting along, if we are not in the same page, we cannot nurture and we cannot, train our children for the good. So that's the very important point to understand. Take away from this point that the nucleus of the family is husband and wife. Again, husband and wife. That's where the beginning point for your children. That's where how you're going to, inshallah, take that to the next level and so on and so forth. Please recite salawats. So, I would like to, inshallah, we have still time for...
So right now it's 11:50. We were supposed to end at 12, but since we started later, if it's okay with everyone, and with you, of course, for us to extend it to 12:30, and then with prayers, is that possible, or do you...
So to me it's not a problem because I want to finish at least this presentation. We can go a little bit quick and fast, inshallah. We can reserve maybe 10-15 minutes in the end for the discussion if everyone is okay with that.
And if you need to leave, you need to, for whatever reason, you need to leave and go get your children, just come see me and I'll help you with getting your kids out of babysitting. Otherwise, inshallah, we can stay until about 12:30 and then we'll have prayers and lunch.
So you're okay with that? Please recite salawats. Yeah, inshallah. That's not a problem. Okay. So these are the 6 aspects how we can invest and nurture and raise our children. That's very important to understand. But there's a foundational pillars before we go to these points, because these are the points, each and every of these points we have to talk and discuss from different angles, right? But there's a foundational points. If we don't consider those foundational points, which can apply for all of that, we will not going to see the good result, right? So the one of the foundational point, a pillar, is love. Sometimes we are stingy in expression of love. Or sometimes we think that the love is shaitanic temptation. Sometimes we have lots of misconception about the love. But if you go to ahadith and riwayats and Quranic teachings, it's completely different. Muhabba, ya Allah. See, Holy Prophet is the best of the best of the best. He is the complete mankind, insani kamil. He is the pinnacle of all the, prophets, Holy Prophet. He himself repeatedly says, at-tawaddadu nisfuddin. The love is half of your deen. Without love, you cannot. We have a golden hadith in Nahj al-Balagha from Imam Ali alayhi salam. Allahu Akbar. All the hadith are great, but some of the hadith, when we're talking about different aspects, for that context is very important. Imam Ali alayhi salam, he said, al-murabita thumma at-taslih. First, connect and then correct. And then Imam Ali alayhi salam says, if you want to connect, al-murabita wal muhabba. The foundation of the connection is a love. If I want to fix something, if I want to be in a society or in my family or with the children, husband, wife, the first thing is the love. Without love, I want to, for example, fix from different angles with the force, with, yelling. It's not going to resolve. It's not going to have any result. Yes, sometimes you can be like a Saddam or oppressor, and you can show that, oh, I'm a man. Yes, you're a man. Or I'm a great, strong woman. Yes. But with fear, you can do so much. You caught up something against your spouse. Wow, now I have a great Baba. Even then, if you want to fix the problem, connect. The connection is the love. Okay? So here, hadith, Holy Prophet, right? Just look at this hadith and riwayats. And du'as. The love and muhabba is an instant, innate nature, a fitra, all of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also, He says, أَحْبَبْتُ أَنْ أُعْرَفْ. Love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself lasted to create all this creation, right? The love, all of us we need, right? If someone says that, I don't love this and that, it means there is something or some problems. A man came to our sixth Imam, he said, Ya Rasulullah, Ibn Rasulullah, Holy Prophet, I feel that I hate my wife or woman in general. Our sixth Imam said, Imma anta kadhab, either you're a liar or you have some problems, right? Or you're angry. If you're not liar, if you're not sick, if you're not angry, it's against the nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fitrah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happened is, we say that I hate my wife, but I take care of my love somewhere else. Not necessarily cheating, just with flirting, having a comfort discussions, and being connected to each other, and so on and so forth. Not necessarily all the time as a cheating. No. That's a fitrah nature if you don't express. One of the very important aspects is my father, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him. He used to tell us, children, lots of things. He did great things, and some of the things which I think that he did not do something good. One of that is this point. He says, don't tell to your wife that I love you, because they will be sitting on your top and all the time you love them, but don't express. That's the bad culture of Middle East people. In general, Middle East people. Only we can see that expression of love in the movies, right? Bollywood film, this film, all of that. When it comes to the homes, it's a big taboo. I should not. I have to be very prim and proper. Baba, Holy Prophet, in front of the children, he said, Ana uhibbuki. Salman. Okay. So also this is also ayah, which multiple times. Anytime we have a wedding, we recite this. ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة. The base of the the foundation and the base of the marriage is a love. Okay. If you don't have a love, there is no rahmah, there is nothing. Can you go? Again, same thing. Min akhlaqil anbiya. You want to follow the prophets, imams? Hubbun nisa. Again, hubbun nisa is not for neighbors, not your co-workers, not to strangers. Unfortunately, we express respect and love to the co-workers, to the neighbors, to others, more than to our spouses. Do you think that we're going to have a good result? No, not at all. Not at all. Right? This is the point. Can you go next? Okay. You know scale? You have a scale? MashaAllah. If you have a scale and one side of the scale empty iman, the other side empty love. The more you have a iman, you need to have more love. It's a very simple situation. Yes. Not general, not for neighbors, not for co-workers, specifically with your spouse. Again, here we're not talking about even parents. The parents is different. We have a different ahadith and riwayat. This is for your spouse and your children, right? First with your spouse and for the then children. This ahadith, either we have to doubt the ahadith, we have to doubt Holy Prophet, we have to doubt Imams, we have to doubt Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or if we have iman, kullama zdada imanan, the more we have iman, the more we have the love. Yes.
Your last slide, you're talking about how you give more love to your people at work. Where does this come from? Like, is this from a survey? Is this from someone complaining to you? Where does this idea even come from?
Oh, you're right, brother. I am sometimes, the fortune teller. So that's the source I'm getting. Brothers, I'm not talking about specific A person, B person. That's the chronic disease of the society. I would like to ask sisters, be honest between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to go to a party? The way you make up, the way you become ready and all of that, you do for your husband?
No.
MashaAllah. 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 So, brothers, Mahdi Jan, brothers, you have a very important interview. Perfume. Best clothing, all of that. Do you do same thing for your wife? If you're doing, mashallah, thank you, mashallah. Sister Hadia, you are the fortunate person on the earth, right? Mashallah.
They have a job interview when they're shaved finally after like a whole month. They're finally, their beard looks good. They're going to work and
Your
they look
husband
fine.
always trimmed. I've never seen him.
Mahdi knows my husband better than me, mashallah.
You know, the Mahdi Jan, the fact here is, I don't want to blame one person or one family or, sisters or brothers. No, I'm talking about a general. Why we have ahadith and riwayat when you go to home? First go and dress up a different clothing. Why we have ahadith and riwayat? Why we have ahadith and riwayat? Don't wear the same clothing every day. So you want to wear pajama and the same thing, all of that, and then you expect, Papa, come on. La ilaha illallah. I mean, dress up something good. Why we have a hadith and riwayat that once you go, you brush your teeth? Why? Why we have hadith and riwayat using the perfume in your home has 1,000,000 ajr, 1,000,000 times reward than outside. Why? I'm sure that majority of, I'm not talking about you guys, majority of those whom I know, they use perfume outside more than inside. Except you guys, mashallah, you do great job, mashallah. I salute for you guys. I'm not talking about you guys, I'm talking about the strangers. Yes, sister.
One point that someone made is that one of the reasons why this happens, why we do more for others than maybe what we should be doing at home, is that oftentimes we'll get more compliments from our friends. Like the brothers will get more compliments
Thank
from
you.
each other.
La ilaha illallah.
Then we get to, give out.
Na'udhu billah, nastajiru billah min hada. This is the real fact. Sister, thank you. Real fact. A hadith and riwayah says, Sayati Zamanu shall be a time on which people will get a good comments from na mahram, then mahram. When we appreciate each other. If we don't appreciate each other, if we don't pass the good comments, all the time, if I'm thinking about my wife, 50 ugly things, not even one good things, do you think that that's going to be a good family system? No, not at all. So it's very important. This, again, we're not talking about the neighbors, not co-workers, not mahram, even not father, not mother. I'm not talking about that. No, husband and wife. Yes.
Just to address the point that Matthew brought up, there is an unfortunate concept in like corporate life that this idea of like work spouse, where like there's like a best friend of an opposite gender, especially like corporations and stuff. This is like something that people feel very like comfortable and like
Again, today's discussion is not that. I would like to mention one point. Sisters, brothers, again, I had no intention to say this story, but let me tell you this story. A couple of years back, Asajjan, couple of years back, a spouse, they came and his wife, again, mashallah, both of them, they used to do very good. They're exemplary, spouse here. Sometimes, by default, I have to say these stories, so at least we can get a lesson. It was heartbreaking for me, anyhow. It affected my health for a long time, right? So, she was complaining about her husband, he was complaining about his wife, and back and forth, to the point that when her husband, he got a better job and so on and so forth, she began to dream or have lots of bad dreams. Oh, he's going with his co-workers here, there, and unfortunately, that was one of my worst the decision of my life. She called me and she said, I have a dream. I stopped, by the way, interpretation of dreams. She said, I have a dream for 3 consecutive days. So, yes, sister, what is your dream? She said that, okay, my husband was with, this and that and all of that. I said, sister, no problems. His dream is, we have different types of dreams. Maybe you saw the dream, maybe during the daytime, nighttime. She said, no, perfectly after Adhan and Subh, or before Adhan and Subh. It's a perfect time. I had nothing, all of that. I said, you need to be very careful about, surrounding of your husband. And also I was joking that, have some chain and put a chain on him. That was my, just I was joking and just I said. And that gave her more reason to believe. And after a few years, they used to own, I'm talking about, before this recession, 28, 29. They had multi-million homes and all of that. Divorce and everything fell apart. And after 5 years of miserable life here, there, I was part of the problem at that time. I was not able to guide them better because I was not understanding the whole scope of that. And then I end up with, engaging more and so on. So alhamdulillah, right now, they are kind of getting closer, but with your du'as, inshallah. So at least my goal is before I die, I want to see that they are reunion, alhamdulillah, because that's one of the heartbreaking point for me because personally affected me. So yes, I'm not ignoring the fact that sometimes misconceptions, wrong decisions, or impressions, or thinking will impact. I'm not talking about that at this time right now because of the corporate life and all of that. But my point is these are the points. If we express our best love to our spouses, the chances of divorces will be less. That's one point. Can you go? Yes.
regarding
We can talk, inshallah. We can talk. Yeah, inshallah. Okay. So here also, expression of love. So, Sister Shafia, this is the point, expression of love. Sister Shafia, this is the expression of love, right?
Right, no, but I'm talking about in this society.
I will come to that point.
That's very curious now.
Mhm.
If I'm telling my husband I love you, or vice versa, or she's seeing other aunts and uncles, like, showing some affection, they're really confused because when they see something outside in society, it's a total different, because they don't understand culture or...
Very good. There is two aspects to it, sister. One is the understanding between husband and wife. You need to have a strong understanding that we love each other, right? So that is the first step. Second step is time to time expression of your love in front of others also is good. But sometimes, for example, if you have, I don't want to say again, your in-laws, but that's the fact. And if you think that because if I express extra love in front of her or in front of him, it will cause more problems, at that time it's good to avoid, right? So just for sake of your, better result, again, I don't want to promote that, but this is one of the areas. All of that has to do with the good understanding between husband and wife, right? So if husband is generous to express his love to his wife, and also wife is generous to express her love towards husband all the time, that will reduce lots of problems. Okay, so the hadith which I mentioned, Holy Prophet used to express his love in front of others, also because we have this big taboo among the society, among the family members, among the others. Don't do that. Why? Because you're spoiling her, spoiling him. No, that's the best thing. It's very good, alhamdulillah. In fact, we have a hadith and riwayah. But sometimes, to avoid the evil eye or those types of things, good, no problem. You can, make a scenario that, I'm going to fight in front of her so she can be, that's okay. But the main point here is to have that nucleus, okay? The expression also is one of the very important area. One is to believe and to love each other. Second one is to express your love, right? I'm sure, sisters, I can tell you for sure 100% that the brothers, they're sitting here, they love their spouses more than anything in this world. But what I see the problem with our beloved brothers is when it comes to the expression of love, they're shy, they hesitate, they have some reservations, and they have all of that. So here, you can help remove that taboo. You can help remove that barriers. And by the way, our sisters are very genius, mashallah, and they will go and they will find out some of the ways to, inshallah, bring that back, inshallah. So this is one of the very important point, that if you love someone, express. Here, someone is your spouse, not unknown, not anyone else. Here, your spouse, right? So his spouse. We're not talking about your mothers, fathers, your sisters, all of them. Your duty, by the way, to love your father, your mother, is your duty. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about your spouse. Expression is very important. So again, some of the benefits, you can go and you can see. I don't want to because of the time. Can you go? Okay. There are two ways, not one way, right? Lots of times our sisters all the time they think that I should get the love from a husband. Okay, mashallah, please get up, do something. And also the brothers, mashallah, alhamdulillah, two-way. But a hadith and riwayat says that when it comes to the expression of love, sisters, they are ocean of love, right? The expression has to start from the brothers. The hadith and riwayat, I'm not talking about myself again. It's not bad that if some sisters they want to initiate, it's not a problem. But the initiate should be from brothers. That's the teachings of Holy Prophet, right? Again, it's not bad that if sister, she wants to express when her husband comes, oh, I love you, you're my life, you're my brother, all of it's good, alhamdulillah, do that. And shame for the brother if he is not responding, that's a different thing. But inshallah, that brother doesn't exist in this entire world, at least inshallah, alhamdulillah, that's not a problem. Okay, so what are the ways to express your love? You have three ways. One is your words, verbally. One is your action. One is your writing. These are the three ways. We have ahadith and riwayats. Allah for all of these three. Right? So, mashallah, قول الرجل للمرأة إني أحبك لا يذهب. It's good. Practice. Wow. Once you enter to your home, once she calls you, once you call her, the first thing is, I love you. MashaAllah. We can practice, right? I love you, right? It's good. Express. This expression is very important. Don't hesitate. I think we need to have one big majlis for Imam Hussain. One side sisters, one side brothers. Our brothers and sisters, they're holding their hands of spouses. We have to say, scream, I love you. I love you is good, alhamdulillah. It's good. I mean, sometimes we need to break that taboo, right? This is, by the way, Brother Mahdi, this is not something wrong information. This is first-hand information. I'm getting pretty much 80% of the spouses, when they come, the sisters, the complaint is, he doesn't show his love towards me. When I ask him that when you said to her, I love you, he scratches his hand, he's thinking maybe time of dating, not dating, it's engagement or after engagement, it's those types of things. So why is that? I'm talking about 80%, right? But you are a fortunate one, mashallah, you express the love all the time, but I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the, that's one word. Second, action. One of the speakers, he used to tell me that when he had a grandson, and he told him that, Baba, I love you. And he said that, Baba, if you love me, where is my gift? Even 3 or 5-year-old children, they don't buy that I love you without any action. And you expect that your spouses will buy from you that you love. The one is, I love you, but you need to show something in your action. So once you say, I love you, mashallah, that should have a good result. And inshallah, at least in 5 years, I want to see that result of I love you. 3 children, for each family members, increase of 3 children. I'm not expecting like 5, 10, 15. Inshallah, at least 3, inshallah. So if we have that, mashallah, right? We can have so we can have a 2 Sabah academy. We have a 3 Sabah centers. It's good, mashallah. So I want to have that, inshallah. Result is, we want to see in a result. Okay? So what is the result? Some of the points here, if you move on, all these are the points. The action could be gift, could be, holding the hands, could be hugging, could be kissing, could be anything. Those are actions, right? So you don't limit yourself to only verbal. That's a first step, right? Even sometimes you're looking each other. You look. So hadith and riwayah says that when you look to your wife, should be different than any other person, right? That is special, full of love. When you smile each other, it should be different. When you hold, should be different. When you hug, should be different. It's not by force. It's not something, oh, you know what? Oh, here one more time. No, it should come from your heart. That's the sign of the Iman. So gift. Once you go to home, buy something. When you want to call each other, don't just copy baby, this and that, all the American names. Have your own standard. It's not a problem. It's not a bad idea. You need to invent something. You need to call each other good names with good attributes. Our sixth Imam, he used to call his wife Mahbooba. So why? Something is very important. Call them a good name. These are the very important points. The shaking the hands and so on and so forth. If you can move, brother. Yes, you can see that generosity and all the great attributes you have, you can express with your action to each other. Okay, can you go more? Okay. So last point is writing. MashaAllah. Make a decision that when you want to use your device to send the text messages, before you send to anyone else, send a text message to your wife that I love you, I miss you, I care for you. Okay? Begin with that, right? So that's a good break, not to deviate here there. Sisters, I'm not talking about only brothers, you also. When you have, you want to, express something, write it, letter, email, text message. If, for example, you had some heated discussion night time, put a kind note, very good note, put it there, and have maybe, inshallah, Mahdi $1,000 there. I love you. I'm so sorry. I miss you. I'm going to miss all the time in my work. And here, there, you're my dream. I see only you, and so on and so forth. Put there and go Mahdi Jan, inshallah. Once she opens that, she will be happy, right? Don't worry about that. This 1,000 emails is good, mashallah. Alhamdulillah, yes.
Allah bless your father. You know why he has wisdom behind what it says? If you eat steak every day, you're like, steak. If you eat steak once a week, you appreciate it.
Mashallah.
I love you all the time. Oh, you say that all the time anyway. Oh, flowers all the time anyway. It becomes less valuable.
Mashallah, mashallah. I'm not saying that every time you go to home, like 5 times you go to home, you're like 5 different things buy. No, I'm not talking about that. Baba, the problem here is we don't give a gift to our spouses. When I'm arguing with, when I'm talking about, I'm counseling through the family, like the spouses, when they ask, when you got the gift from your husband, barely they remember. Not ifrat, not tafreed. It's not that every time, no. Baba, practice that. It's not a bad idea. Right? Go ahead.
I just want to add something to what Mehdi said. I think because most of us are sitting here with slightly younger children, so I can see, having been a counselor in the past, that with older generations, you have this problem of not expressing love and giving gifts. But I think particularly for my generation, there is an over-expression of love, and it's like every 5 minutes, like, hey, kids, I love you, I love you,
Thank you.
I love you, I love you, I love you, right? There's a lot of expression. There's generally, in Western
Mashallah.
culture, there's a lot of gift giving, so we don't forget birthdays, we don't forget anniversaries.
And we do,
Give gifts on
yeah.
Mashallah, sister, I want to, yeah.
What I would like to see
We give Christmas gifts.
is a more philosophical discussion on love as an action.
Sister, let me tell you this with all due respect to you and Mahdi and everyone. I'm dealing with the younger generations, like you guys, more than the older generations. Because the older people, they set up, they adapted whatever they are. But the problem what I see here is the younger one. Can you imagine that 3 out of 5 people, not even they had a dinner in last 3 months outside of their home. So you are among the fortune people, lucky people. Hassan is here, and by the way, he brought all his wealth and he wants to transfer to you. So he is an exceptional person, mashallah. I'm not talking about him, but
Everybody here had dinner
yeah.
out last night. I guarantee you, everyone here had dinner out last night. Every couple. Well, because you have a little baby. We went out, they went out.
Mashallah.
These couples didn't go out all the time. I mean, this is
So alhamdulillah. So then we don't have a problem, sisters. So I'm a little bit out.
this happens all the time.
No, Alpha, my point that I was trying to make that I didn't get to make is I'd love for you to focus, or at some other time, have a more philosophical discussion on love in its intrinsic values, like what it means at the core.
Very good. Inshallah, we can talk and discuss that. But this, whatever I mentioned, this one is to have a good family structure. I thought that from next week we can go straight. In the next session, we can go straight towards nurturing and raising the children. Seems that we need to maybe at least focus half of the next slide also about the concept of family, Islamic family, and then we have to come back to those 6 points which I mentioned about nurturing and raising our children, right? So I'm sorry if I said something which already you're practicing, which is good. ذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ ذِكْرَةً تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So inshallah. And if you think that it was a little bit more than what it should be, please forgive me, because I think that that's one of the key area. And if you resolve that, you can resolve lots of other problems. That's a good foundation. And once you have a good connection, good foundation of love, you can resolve lots of things.
So that's a positive thing for you, Alpha, to take away from us.
Mashallah, I'm sure that that is a good point. Inshallah, I have to learn from Hassan lots of things. Inshallah, it's good. I'm learning. Inshallah, brother Hassan, please teach me. Inshallah, more. Alhamdulillah, because if I have my wife, like if my wife, she's going to be happy like her, alhamdulillah, that's my good day, inshallah. Please teach me how to make my wife happy, inshallah, right? It's good, alhamdulillah. Please say the salawats.
I wanted to apologize. I didn't mean to say, the information is very valid. I didn't mean to say it's very important. The reason we do it is because you've taught me before.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say this is.
No.
Forgive me for that. I was just saying I'm doing that, but I'm working on this. But I really, everything I have applies.
So, Hadia, just tips. Mahdi, sometimes when he talks, Adil Parvar, his mother's side, is a different. Then when he talks about Falahati, father's side, is a different, right? So you have to see that whether sometimes talking from mother's side or father's side. So, but in general, he's a great man, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. Anything, brothers, sisters?
Please, once and all.
Yes. Yes.
This goes back to I think the side we're discussing about what the center can do. My point is that why this lecture has to be done on site notes, where people have to sign up, and not at the mainstream regular lectures that happen for the general audience, so everyone can benefit. Because here are people who are actually looking for this information. They know what they need. There are people who actually are suffering, and they know why they are not suffering, what they need. Antes que nada, receiving parties. This lecture is much more beneficial when it comes to 500 people.
May I
They
say
can benefit.
So my first comment was a kind of joke that we spend a lot of time in Sabah tonight, so we don't have time to work on our families. But I had a point in that. So we should have a high-level plan in our community programs, because if you calculate how many man-hours you spend in Sabah for the Ramadan, Muharram, Safar, those things, right? And see if our community is moving from point A to point B during a year, do we have a plan for that? Do we have a plan to improve our families by these lectures or by these workshops? So we can use these workshops in our regular program to And have it
It's a good point.
evaluation at the end of the year, right? And see if we really had an improvement or not.
Good point, inshallah. So it's very good, alhamdulillah. Yes, sister.
On top of what the brother is saying about having this not only in the English hall, but in the Farsi hall, in the Urdu hall, all of them have suggested that this is the main topic that should be focused on. On top of that, I've heard of masjids that have professionals, family therapists, who come and actually do these workshops like you're doing today, who've been traveling to masjids. And I think with our resources, we should be able to have some of them come and, to our communities. And in these workshops, they'll do group sessions, they'll make you go into individual, places, and I think that we could, really benefit from calling these professionals to our masjids as well.
Inshallah. That's also a very good point. I think that has to do with the board also. When they bring the different speakers or different, programs, when they plan, they can inshallah take consideration of that. We need to have a varieties of these different programs. The same value we put for a majlis, we have to have same thing for the children, for the family, for the different aspects of it, inshallah. That's also very good, inshallah.
So, on the contrary, I do think that we do have these type of presentations. Just attending the Thursday night programs, there was a lot of presentations that were also delivered by Molana. This is not new, like Matthew said. I hear this on Jummah time. I think at Sabah we do a lot of programs, but what I think builds people is education, like a lot of you guys mentioned earlier today. And I've been trying to do like a class, and we had a class. We had 2 different classes with Molana, and Molana's also said that if he gets 5 students to come on a consistent basis, we'll do another class. We had the history of each imam's life, and we had the tafsir Dua Kumail, both of which build families, both of which emanate and talk about love and talk about respect and talk about the role of a husband, the role of a wife in a different form. Me personally, when I was in LA, we used to have a class every week. No matter how many people showed up, we just show up. And we talk about, like, for example, the attributes of Allah and how can we embed those attributes in ourselves. I think the problem is people don't attend.
No, Mahdi, Muhammad Jan, the point here is, please, the point here is, if we can adapt these types of programs and lectures and informations, not only for Thursday night, Friday Jummah prayer, for the month of Muharram, Ramadan, different occasions, once we have a larger audience, that will give us more benefits. What happens is, I agree with brothers that if I look at to 10 days of Muharram, which we had the peak of the crowd and people, we had barely covered some of the very important topics, but we had lots of things here, there, flip-flop, and it's good. I mean, there are good information about the history, about Imam Ali Islam's braveness, about some of the points is very important because that's our foundation. We don't want to miss that also. But if we can incorporate, if we can accommodate, if we can communicate with the speakers also, some of these points or some other practical instruction for the people to take away from the majlis, that will help a lot, inshallah. Yes.
I agree with those, but the problem is that the build-up happens, like the community starts to come more and more, so you have a lot of different people that are coming and starting at different points of time. So like, for example, the first Muharram, the same audience is not going to be there on the 9th of Muharram. I mean, there's going to be a lot of different people, a lot of new faces. So the topic also has to cover a lot of different types of people. A lot of so that becomes a challenge from a logistical, from like who's your target audience perspective. But when you have a class and you can build the people, you can consistently.
Yeah, inshallah. My point here is we need to tackle and focus from all the angles, not to only limit to the class or workshop. Take it from all the angles. If we can, give the information to the community, even the time of Muharram, Ramadan, here, there, every time, so we can have a good result, inshallah, outcome. Yes.
Maulana, this is excellent, that this workshop you're doing. I think the emphasis we have missed, from my point of view, is self-learning. So, most successful people in the Bay Area, the executives, if you talk to them, wealth of knowledge out there. If see, the problem I have is that when I go to my grave, I can't blame you. That Maulana Abdi didn't really tell me all of these things. So the emphasis is me. That I need to figure out whether you are giving me the right knowledge, whether Sabah is there for me, whether there is the 10 days in Muharram, whether they are giving me the right lecture or not. These are platforms to help me. But I need to put effort. My time is my time, meaning I need to decide whether I need to spend 18 hours a day at work, right? What kind of life I need, how much money is allocated for me, for my family, whether it makes sense for me to live in a small house, but spend time in gaining knowledge,
MashaAllah.
in spending time with my family. Because, most of those 6 points.
So, Sister Nazira, please make a note. That's also very important that if we can emphasize how to educate ourselves, self-education, and the tips for the self-education, and some of the websites, some of the practical books we can introduce. Because I agree that we cannot deliver everything from the podium or from these workshops, and we cannot depend on others for everything. It's very good that we need to be trained how to get the proper knowledge, good guidance, and what are the good resources. So if we can also emphasize that, it's very good. Thank you, Brother Jazakallah. So I think, yes, sister.
Adding to that, what you said is such a valid point. Like, just to pick one quick example is the self-learning. For example, if we're going and taking a course on digital marketing or on photography or on business strategies, and we're told, okay, well, let's go take a counseling course on effective communication between spouses. We'll be more willing to take the corporate class and the training than, oh, I'm not going for counseling or therapy. But even that concept needs to be promoted from the member.
So that's, sister, that's the point. What I got from him is we need to have a good, structure to present how to get a proper knowledge, how you're going to, inshallah, research, and so on and so forth. If we can present something, practical ways, that's also will help a lot. The point here is not that you learn something. No, it's not going to, help that. First, we have to create a good atmosphere. We have to create the incentive among ourselves, and we have to give some good tips how to, get that knowledge, and then we can, inshallah, have a good result, inshallah. So thank you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us, and also please recite a big salawat for Sister Nazira and all the volunteers, those who work behind the scene. Please recite a salawats. Thank you, Sister Nazira. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and your family, and for this great cause and great work. Thank you, Jazakallah.
Actually, there's a big team that actually puts this together. Kind of a big team. We're a bunch of moms. A lot of us with infants, so that's the reason why our first session was in the spring and this session is now in the fall. We meant to have it more frequently, but it's hard to manage with this group that we currently have. Alhamdulillah, I saw a lot of passion here today. I saw a lot of really good ideas. So I want to actually take a small poll, if that's okay with you guys. Show of hands. I want to see how many of you would be interested in continuing kind of this seminar/workshop type of format in the future. Just raise your hands.
Versus what?
Hold on, I just want to see. Okay. How many of you would be interested in making it something more like a class where you attend on a bi-weekly basis or something like that? Okay, hold on, let me just see. Okay, so, no, you can be interested in both. You're allowed to be interested in both. Okay, I see less interest in the class than the seminar style. Okay. So, if you're interested in helping out, please do come see me, like I said before. We can also use help from the brothers in building out these workshops. Just because we are a small group of people and it gets hard to manage. Again, I think one of our main problems is that we have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of passion, we just don't always know how to direct it. So if we come together and we network a little bit more, then maybe we can bring all of our efforts together and kind of create some of these plans and systems that we had mentioned today. Yes? Sorry? Oh, okay. Frequency of the workshop. So I think that initially our idea was to have it every month or every other month. I I guess let's get a poll going again. How many of you would like to see it every month? Is once a month manageable? Okay, how many of you want to see it more or less frequently than that, like once every 2 months or 3 months? Less frequently?
Well,
Okay.
I think more people would come to us less frequently.
More people
Because,
would
like, I think, like, if we keep doing it, then it'll be like, I don't know.
Okay, so I think most people are they still want it about once a month? Okay, all right. I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming. Big salawat for all of the people who helped put this together, please. And an even louder salawat, please, for our dear Maulana, who put a lot of effort into putting together this workshop. And we can end with dua, please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم انزل علينا بركات رحمة وغفران ورضوانك اللهم تقبل باسم العين اللهم غير سوء حالنا بحسن حالك اللهم اجعل عواقب امورنا خيرا اللهم ارزقنا لما تحب وترضى اللهم عجل في فرج مولانا صاحب الزمان واجعلنا من اعوانه وانصاره بالنبي عليه الصلوات.
Brother Mitani. Brother Mitani.
Why don't you do it?
I know, I will do it. My throat is out of order.
Oh, ginger and honey. Ginger and honey? Ginger powder. A teaspoon of honey and put as much ginger powder as you can handle. Straight. Yeah, straight. Nothing else.
For those who haven't given their email like on the form for the sign up, if you want to sign up on their programs, I'll have a talk for people.
Also, there is food after prayer if you are interested in eating rather than doing it somewhere else. Also, there are still some kids at the babysitting hall. Please don't forget your children. What? Also, there is a ring and a bracelet that was found in the restroom. A ring and a bracelet that was found in the restroom. Anyone recognizes it?
سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله والعلي العظيم الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وسلم.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's loud.